No problem. So
No,
good.
no,
I ain't gonna keep you, Swizz.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm dressed up, top and naked on the bottom. Don't worry about it.
Well, first and foremost, man, good to see you, brother. You know, I wish it was under different circumstances. Of course, we all do. But you know, it's a I guess it's part of the legacy of hip hop that, you know, these kinds of things will happen, and
Yeah.
how we, you know, we play that. We didn't see this 30 years ago. Oh, you know, you might have to be doing posthumous interviews for guys. So I wish it was under different circumstances.
Yeah, we all do. Definitely, man, for sure. We definitely all do.
So let me just jump right into this album. You know, I got a chance to listen. Let's just go for, first of all, why Exodus? Why the name Exodus? If you can explain that to us.
Well, you know, the word Exodus and the meaning of Exodus was very deep and important to X, to the point where he tatted it across his neck. He named his son that. He always, you know, it always resonated with him. The working title for the album was called "It's Dark and Hell Is Hot Again," but then, you know, when he transitioned, that energy didn't feel right for this project anymore. You know what I'm saying? The Exodus energy resonated way more with the project, and so we just went with it.
Got you. In listening to this album, you know, the first thing I'm going to say is, what do you think that, how do you think that X felt about the hip hop scene today versus how it was back in the day? That's always the first question.
I don't think he really was paying attention to the hip hop scene ever. I think he was always paying attention to his craft. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never really heard X listening to hip hop like that. He always would play R&B, old school music. If you look at any video of him dancing and things like that,
right,
it's never ever is. I haven't seen it to hip hop yet. You know what I'm saying? It's Lisa and the Coat jamming.
Right.
You know, like, you know, he was always having fun. Not that he didn't admire or respect other other rappers in hip hop. Like, he just was in his craft as an artist, and he wasn't really paying attention to what everybody else had going on like that. But he respected, like, I would see him see other artists and give them their respect and their props.
Right.
But I never really heard him jamming out like that.
Okay, I saw a video with him. He was sitting out on the outside of the car listening to Benny the Butcher.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, Benny was playing new music for DMX. And X was like right there ready to, like, it was like he was ready to chomp onto that beat, like right there. What do you think it was about him that just made him such a, you know, such that type of artist? Because Swizz, you and I both know that you can see a guy who was the biggest star in the world 20 years ago, and then today you ask him for a bar and he only got 2.
Now, X kept books of rhymes on him, papers in his pocket. I mean, up until the last time I seen him, he'll pull something out of his pocket and just read it, or he always kept paper and notepads and a book bag full of his compositions. You know, he was a real artist, and he like, the thing with Benny the Butcher and even the Griselda boys, he had super respect for them, so he was engaging into even what they had going on. That's a whole different scenario, because they were working on his album and he did something for their album too. And so that's what that video was. That video was X already being comfortable with them, and them being super respectful and participating on X album. So they caught a real good moment. But X is like that. If he messing with you, he gonna go the whole way. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna pull up on you, and he gonna participate. But when he get back in that car, he gonna play that old school. I'm gonna tell you that now.
I love it, man. You know, you said he was an artist, and he was a true artist, but he was also, I don't even know how to describe it, brother. But my wife, who never met him, who was a fan, who I've heard her say, and I've heard other people say, she's like, I feel like I know him. I feel like he was from round my way and I know him. She is my age. She's not a hip hop head. She's, you know, she listened to Kim and Eric Benet. And however, when it came to X, she just has this thing. And I've seen that through his entire career. You know, I kind of got to have a different view than a lot of people. So what was it about him?
You know, she was right. She did know him. You know, she knew his energy. She knew his spiritual vibe. It was familiar. You know, that's the energy the energy she was feeling is the energy of a good person.
Is that the feeling you got when you first met DMX? You know, like, boom, it's time to get this guy in the studio. And, you know, did you feel off the break, were you intimidated in any way by this artist? Because he's a big presence. What was it, you know, what was the first thing that made you just like latch onto this guy?
#1 on iTunes, the album right now. I just seen it come across the stage. Let's keep it going, y'all. But when I first met X, even though my Uncle Y was playing music and I love X mixtapes, and I was a fan of those before I even met him because my uncle used to play it so much. When I met X, I wasn't thinking of him on no music vibe. I was thinking of him as a cool friend. You know what I'm saying? That's how our relationship started. Way before he blew up, way before music, you know, we connected. We always talk about it's the summer in Yonkers where we did everything under the sun. You can go to his autobiography. The whole stories are there. And we was sleeping on floors. We was robbing people. We was hopping cabs. We just was running reckless. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was like going around. X was an adventure. Like we used to have an adventure. It was like Batman and Robin. Like, okay, what we doing today? We'll wake up and be like, what we gonna do today? We're gonna go over here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna hit the dice game. We're gonna get the money from that dice game. That's gonna let us. Because we was trying to figure out how we was going to eat. You know what I'm saying? So we had a whole plan like, okay, I'm going to do this. We're going to do that. I seen Homeboy with that chain. I don't like him like that anyway. We're going to get that. We're going to bring that over there to Poppy in the Bronx. It was just missions every day, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, when we get to the Bronx.
Him. We go ahead. I don't like him, so we can go ahead and count that money in our pocket.
Yeah, I don't like him because, you know, he gave me the funny look. We're going to get him. We're going to trade that into the Bronx. Then I know these 3 cats that want to battle. We're gonna battle them for about 200 a piece. If they don't give it up, we're gonna rob them and take that from them, and then we're gonna go to Red Lobsters later tonight.
As grown men with grays in our beards, it's nostalgic to look back on those days. It feels good. You see, we can both sit here and smile.
Yeah, I can't believe we lived that type of life. You know, I don't regret none of it. I don't regret none of it. You know, I don't regret none of it because it taught us how to be stronger. It taught us how to be wiser, and it taught us how to teach other people as well.
Would you got kids? Would you let your kids hang out with X from then?
Hell no.
I'm being funny.
I don't know because X was very respectable. You understand? Like I would let him hang out with my kids back then because, you know, X never was a silly person. Like if he know that that's my kids, he not gonna be on doing those stickers. They're gonna be at Ride Playland somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not. He would be responsible with my kids. My kids wouldn't be going on capers with him and things like that. He'd take that day off. So I would leave my kids with X because X was very good with kids and he was a very caring person and a very responsible person. Like when it comes, like he takes that stuff very serious, like real talk.
Got you. I met him. You know, in the mid to late 90s, and I watched this brother go on stage with just a DJ, no hype man, no backup dancers, no extra people, him, the DJ, and I watched him go for an hour straight. Like it was nothing. And I I had never seen a rapper do that in all my years. And that's what that one thing right there just made him a superhero to me. And then because of my position, I got to actually sit and have a conversation with him. And that even more just blew my mind because of the circumstances that he came from, what he was able to make out of his life, and those things. And I hear it reflected in this album.
That's a fact.
I hear it reflected in this album. How does it feel to you to be part of this legacy? Like we sitting right here and it's #1 on iTunes right now. What is it? For once, what does it feel like to be Swizz Beatz on a day that we're talking about DMX?
Well, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm so in DMX mode. I haven't even been thinking about Swizz Beatz, but I know that it's been an emotional roller coaster. But I am happy that the world is able to get this gift that he left all of us. You know, he put a lot of hard work into it, and to be a vessel and to be able to keep his wish alive, you know, I feel honored that he put that in my hands. And shout out to the supporting teams around us, because I can't do this all by myself. You know, I am the face of it, but there's a lot of moving parts. Shout out to Def Jam, shout out to the Rough Riders, our family, you know, shout out to Craig Brohan, shout out to all the producers and all the writers and all of the features and, you know, everybody, man. And I'm just so happy that I had to support him, you know, because this is what he needed. He needed the love. X only wanted the love the whole time. He just wanted the love. He didn't want the money. He didn't want nothing. He wanted the love, and he wanted the real love. And that's what I'm happy that I'm seeing people give him that. It's unfortunate he's not here, but I know he's up there smiling, and I feel good that he can get some rest now. Yeah,
man. I just received a picture today from one of the mothers of his child. I bumped into him up the street from my house. I'm sitting in Bowie, Maryland. I bumped into him at the Texas Roadhouse, the restaurant.
That sounds about right.
My daughter and my niece were having dinner, and they said, "I think DMX is here." I think DMX just walked into the restaurant. I said, "Y'all lying. Come on. What X gonna be doing in Bowie, Maryland at the Texas Roadhouse?" And it was like a Wednesday, Swizz. It was like a regular Wednesday. Sure enough.
Sounds about right.
Sure enough, I walked in, and you know, I walk in, and the hostess at the front, she notices me. She's like, "Oh, hey, Joe Clair, he's over there." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's real." And back to your point about he just wanted the love. He gave the love as well, because as soon as my face came around that corner, I watched him light up. And of course, I had the biggest smile on my face, like, it's DMX, you know, and I had seen him in, you know, maybe 15 years or so. So yeah. It was really, really, really good to see the brother. And that, to your point, the love part was there, because I think he received how much because I was gushing. I ain't gonna front. I was gushing. You know, he had just touched back down.
Yeah.
He is X. He stands for a certain ethos, and he stands for a certain part of what made us the hip hop community. So I was really happy to see him, and it was all love. And then
absolutely,
it was dap up, take the picture, good to see you. I see you when I see you again. And he went back and ate his dinner, and I couldn't have been happier. Real talk. So it is about the love. Let's talk about this music. You know, everybody says, "What's your favorite cut on the album, Swizz?" But what was the, not your favorite cut, but what was the thing that you got the most excited about working on? Which song? I'm getting that petty. Which song was the best, your favorite song to work on this album?
Strangely, Letter to My Son, Call Your Father. Because, you know, it was X being very vulnerable. It was X being very real. It was X sharing a very, very personal story from his life to the world with hopes of, you know, other fathers and other kids taking this message on. And I thought that was big in him to put something so personal on this record, although X was always personal, but this is personal, personal.
Yeah.
And you could feel that in that record. And just to be able to put that beautiful piece of music together with his poetry and his feelings and his honesty, I thought it was whoa, you know, because you can hear things, right? We listen to music, but when you feel music, it's a different vibration. And if you have a heart in your chest, you feel Letter to My Son.
Yes, indeed. What was it like to get him with the locks?
Man, that was the first track that we did. I'm glad that it set off the album too, because it was the set off. And I wanted to give people the nostalgia Rough Rider zone at that particular moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I that was done on purpose. And you know, you got Kiss starting off, and Chic and Styles,
Right.
and X come in, and even the way I said Rough Riders, it was the vintage tone, Rough Riders. Like, you know, all those was done on purpose to put you in that mind space that we didn't forget where we come from, although we're gonna take you on a little journey.
Yes, indeed. What do you think that he wanted everyone to know or feel with this project?
I think I think he wanted people to learn from everything that he went through. You know, I think he didn't want everything he went through to go in vain, and he left a lot of gems and a lot of messages on this album. If you really listen to it, I'm calling it an audio book. I'm not
Yeah.
even calling it an album. It's an audio book, you know. And he just wanted people to use him as a stepping stone to get to the next level in a positive way. You
And
know,
I and I'm
he says, I don't know what you thought of my use of drugs, but it taught you enough to not use the drugs. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like things like that. Like that, those are serious lines.
true
Serious
indeed.
lines.
True indeed. I and you know, I'm a big namaste guy. I'm a big spiritual guy, a big emotional guy. Uh-oh. Oh, big emotional guy and all of that. But I'm sorry. I I like the way he talk about robbing people. I I I I I like the way he talk about how he gonna eat these niggas out. I like the way he talk about fucking up an MC. Excuse my French. I really not even like it. I revere it. The same way I
Yeah.
hear, the same way I hear Miles Davis blow that horn or Boosie Collins on that bass. It's like, I don't know if it's true or not, but boy, I like the way you say it, X.
Yeah. And he know that people like the way he say it.
Oh
But
God.
the thing with this record, we put a lot of that in the beginning. X was like, yo, I'm just not in the mood to shoot up and kill everything like that.
Okay.
He's like, I'm gonna give him that, but like, I'm embracing my age, Swizz. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you hear the track with him, Snoop and Marvin Gaye, or Walking in the Rain. Like, he was maturing, and it's okay to embrace your age. Give people what they want for sure, but also show growth. Like, X was in the middle of growing to the next level and becoming a different type of man,
Yeah.
And he was just like, yo, like, I'm not that no more. Like, I'm not, like, when I was saying those joints, we was really out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in Baltimore, in Philly, in DC, in New York, all them places. Like, X was settling in as an amazing father. He was about to be a new husband again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His mind was on different things. Like, he was growing. I was watching him grow to the next level. And trust me, I had all that shit that you like lined up. And then I started communicating with him, and I had to curate to where his energy was always going to be forced. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The album, the way that he picked the album out, from vibing with Bono, and he just wanted to show the diversity. He's like, yo, I'm a rock star too. You know what I'm saying? I've been working with Marilyn Manson and different things like that. Like, he just he just wanted to vibe. You know what I mean? Like he just was he caught a zone.
I got you. I like the line where he say, I ain't 50 for nothing. I ain't 50 years old for nothing.
Yeah, everybody
that's
the favorite line.
Yeah, that one hit me. I mean, that one really just hit me dead in the heart because of course, listening to the rhymes and then hearing that ad lib come on the back, it automatically made me think crazy. It automatically made me think of KRS-One talking about even then we'll be the old school. 50 years down the line, you can start this. And I'm like, yo, we actually 50. Wow. Something else. Hey, Swizz, man, thanks for taking the time, brother. I really appreciate you. As y'all saw while we sitting right here, Exodus became #1 on iTunes while we was sitting
keep
right here.
Keep it going. Let's keep it going. The
go
race
stream
is not
that
over.
Right now, everybody. Go stream it. Go download it. Go listen to it. Go get into it and share with your friends, your family, your loved ones. It's the posthumous album from DMX. Thank you, Swizz, man. I really appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
No problem, man. Go have a good day.